very excited to have you here. I'd been a fan of yours for a long time, and then we met at an Emmys a couple years ago.
Yes.
Backstage, your wife, Caitlin Olsen, was presenting, and we met at a bar. There was a backstage bar.
Well, yes. So just to be clear, I was at the Emmys not because I was invited to the Emmys by the Emmys.
Right.
I wasn't nominated for anything, but my wife was being asked to present.
Right.
And I was invited to the Emmys by my wife.
Yeah. Any invitation, they say, is an honor, no matter who it comes from.
I guess. I promptly went to the bar.
Yeah.
And spent the majority of the night there. And that's
It was a very small bar, and it was a lot of fun to be back there.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was sort of way more fun than being in the audience for the Emmys.
I wouldn't really know because I don't spend a lot of time at the Emmys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only one.
Which I should say is a giant oversight, and I mean this with all sincerity. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, coming into its 15th season, which is incredible. The Emmys has a lot of explaining to do, as far as that goes.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
What year is this show in?
6.
Oh, you're babies. Look, if you ever need any advice in terms of television, I'm happy to,
Thank you so much.
walk you through it.
We have something in common, which is we both have a child named Axel.
Yes.
And how did you come about your name of Axel?
Well, we live in Los Angeles, first of all, so it's really funny because my kids go to school in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of very interesting names. Sky and Pavement and Spring and Fall and Wolf and Howl and things like that. And we were thinking we wanted to find a strong name.
Yep.
And a name that meant something to us. And most people think that we went with Axl Rose.
Yep.
Because of Axl Rose, and of course I'm a big GNR fan, but that was not our inspiration. I don't know what your inspiration was, but ours was something else.
Which was?
Axel Foley.
Axel Foley.
Yeah, which means
Beverly
like
Hills Cop.
literally nothing to anybody under the age of 40.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really good for Beverly
Axel
Hills
Foley's
Cop.
from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, that's
yes,
great.
Eddie Murphy.
There you go. And was your family happy? Because when I told my parents Axel, I felt like they didn't think it was awesome.
No.
Yeah.
My family was not excited. I come from a very large Irish Catholic family in Philadelphia, and we are all named Robert or James or Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And my grandmother especially, and look, very supportive people.
Yeah.
My grandmother was like, Axel. Well, we'll love him anyway. And I was like, of course you will. Of course
And then
you
what's
will.
your other son is?
My other son is Leo.
And was that well received?
That went over really well.
Why was
Okay.
Leo so much better?
So we originally thought, first of all, we just picked Leo because we thought it was a really cool name, a nice name. And my grandmother was very excited, and she had a brother named Leo, so he would have been my great uncle. And she was very excited about the fact that we believed that we were naming this child after a family name. And then we said, yeah, Grandma, I'm sure, whatever makes you happy. And then she said, oh, no, I'm just happy that you named your son after the Pope, Leo. Pope Leo the Grand, I suppose, I don't know. And I said, yeah, sure. We'll love him anyway.
Yeah, there you go. You got to give him what you want. So this is this new show, Mythic Quest. This is about the world of people who basically build video games.
Can I stop you there for a second?
Yeah.
Mythic Quest, Raven's Banquet. is the title.
Many apologies.
And here's why.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that the title was as ridiculous as possible.
Yeah.
Just like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure we confused as many people as possible, and that you could barely fit it on a poster.
Yeah.
We felt like we had a good track record as far as that went.
Yeah, just like bad titles that if you market tested them, it would come back with a very bad score.
There's a lot of confusion. When people ask me, what is the name of your show? I say, Mythic Quest, and they kind of go, oh, okay, and I go, Raven's Banquet. Like, what does that mean? Is that a banquet of ravens? Is it one single raven that's gorging upon a feast? And I'm like, look, man, I don't know. But it doesn't matter because the last one worked, so I'm assuming this one will.
Yeah, you got 15 years in you on this one, too. Yeah. How did you went to the world of, you actually went and visited a place where they build these sort of open world games, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, so we were approached by this company called Ubisoft, which is one of the biggest gaming studios in the world. And they invited me to come check out this game development studio, and it was really cool. So we walk in, and originally I was reticent to want to do a show in this industry for various reasons, but I was on the fence, but I figured, hey, it's a free trip to Montreal. I'd never been to Montreal. Let's go drink on their dime. That would be cool. And so I walk into this game studio, and I'm looking around, and I see this guy, and he's like out, like across the hall, and he's dressed head to toe in black. He's got these cowboy boots, and he's got rings and necklaces and this long beard, and he had a cane, right? But he was probably 35. And I realized there was no limp or anything like that. He was just, I realized it was like just an accoutrement, like a little like artistic flourish that he had. And I walked up to him and I said, hey, how you doing, pal? He said, good. I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a creative director. I said, I don't know what a creative director does. What is that? And he just sort of took a moment, like a longer moment than he should have. And he like looked out into the distance, which was mostly like fluorescent lights. And he goes, brother, I build worlds. And I was like, could you excuse me for 1 second? And I walked outside, I took out my phone, and I called Charlie, and I was like, we are doing a show about these people.
There you go.
There you go.
Every now and then you need inspiration.
And that was it.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations again, sincerely, for Always Sunny. What an incredible run. So happy it's still going. That's Rob McElhenney, everybody.